Guys, we are back again. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get through this one because I'm a little tired. Eyes are bothering me, but nonetheless, we keep it pushing no matter what. As I always like to tell you guys where I find all these guests, and I know lately it's all TikTok. I really enjoy the platform for what it is and what I'm using it for. And I met so many cool people just popping in and out of my lives or found me because of my content and then came into my lives later. And it's always easy to tell which ones I'll be friendly with because of how they treat me right off the bat. You would imagine that, having a disability that stands out, some just are so curious and they can't help themselves. Whereas most, the good ones, they tend to just treat me like a human, which, is crazy thought. I know, just people with disabilities are human. That's crazy. I can't believe that I even said that out loud. I should be canceled. But at the end of the day, it's just true, man. It's sad that some can't see me for any more than my scars, and I'm hoping that with going live, I hope in my own little small way, that I can change the perception of how we treat each other on the internet. Not just people with disabilities, but all people. Because going up to somebody on the internet, or going up to somebody, period, on the internet, saying something that you wouldn't say in real life,
Mhm.
I think, yeah, why are we doing that? It's pointless. So, anyway, so the reason I say all that is because our next guest is somebody who is just delightful and has popped in and um, has just been so friendly, and I guess, and she likes what I do, and we become friendly, and she has her own story. I said, why don't you come on? And so here we are. So, would you like to say hello and introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about you.
Sure. My name's Natalie, and I am here. I'm here because I came across Timothy's TikTok, and I went on his live, and I just saw like the light um in his face, and like what he was doing, and like even in hardship, he doesn't let it get to him. And about me is I struggle a lot with vision and hearing, and I have a faulty heart, and I have messed up knees. Like I have PCOS in my uterus, which is pretty normal for women, but mine's severe for some reason. And I probably can't have children. I grew up in San Diego, California, and I grew up there for 19 years, and then my family didn't really want me to stay with them anymore. So I've been on my own since I was 19. I'm 21 now. I contact my family. I love them dearly. I just don't think they love me the same. So I've been out and about. I'm further up north in California now, and I live with my fiance. Um, and yeah, mental health also is a struggle for me as well. So I guess that's a little basis of me.
Well, and I've said this multiple times on here or on live or wherever. You know, you're out there in the world and you're doing stuff, and you don't know who you're gonna bump into, right? Like I didn't know anything about you until you started telling me stuff about you. I didn't even know, because it's like, I don't, the reverse of all of that is I don't judge. I don't look at what you guys look like for the most part. So every now and
Hmm.
then a girl will hit on me, and I may look at her profile or something, but like for the most part, I don't care, because it's just come on in, hang out, and then usually those who stick around long enough, and I kind of sense that there's something. Like I with you, like I was like, I can tell she's been through something, and then eventually you started sharing, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's why we're friends. That's why you gravitated towards me, because it's, again, you're just on there. You're hoping that you reach people. You don't know who you're reaching, and for me, the thing
Yeah,
I learned is my people aren't who I thought my people were going to be. Like when I first started doing this, I thought my people were going to be the visually impaired and blind. And then I was told by them, like, hey, you're not even totally blind, so you can't speak for us, right? So I was like, well, that's stupid. And then I was like, well, what about the whole disability community? And then I started getting pushback from some of them going, well, you're the eye people. You're not all of us, so shut up. And I was like, well, that's stupid. And
hmm,
then I'm like, you know what? Nah, man, this is more about just people who struggle, period. I don't have to
yeah,
be I don't have to go through what you're going through to
yeah,
understand. I just have to understand struggle. understand what it's like
Mhm.
to just go through hell and continue to keep persevering and pushing through. So, um, yeah, and like I said, when you meet all these new people, like I met with meeting you, it's like, yeah, man, you don't know how much you can really affect someone's day by just going, hey, man, like, because all we want to know, some of us, all we really want to know is someone gets it. And
Yeah.
and when you bump into somebody who gets it, who lives it, you're like, okay, I'm not alone.
Mhm. Yeah. And like for me, like I've felt less alone through time, like meeting my fiance, his family. Like I really believe in the chosen family aspect where you can choose who your family is because your biological family has failed you or doesn't want you. I hate that when they say they don't want you because it like breaks my heart. But like today, for example, I got up and I had energy and I was like, okay, so I went to the grocery store. I got some goods to make dinner tonight and I cleaned the kitchen for my fiance and his family because they do so much for me. If I have a little bit of energy, I'll do things for them.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's, that little bit of support and the understanding of, oh, okay, she's got hardships, and I mean, I'm sure you go through this like all of us with disabilities do, is you go through that whole I'm a burden thing where like I can't
Yes,
help like I want to help. I want to be able to do everything you're doing, and you impact my day, you affect me, and you do so much for me, and what do I do for you in return? And I think some of us tend to forget that like our strength and just existing sometimes is enough for some people. Like if you weren't
yes,
here, how would your husband or your fiance's life be? He probably
yeah,
wouldn't be anywhere near as happy as he would be. And yeah, maybe you don't think you do a whole lot, but obviously he asked you to marry him, so there's a reason, you know?
yeah. And with like, I feel, I don't know how your views are, Timothy, but in my eyes and like how I see the world is I believe that mental health in some aspects can be a disability.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know if you agree with that.
No, yeah. I always say I have two disabilities, and mental health is the other one. I don't.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's especially like we all have mental health, so I don't think it's a disability for everybody, but I do think it's a disability like when it's severe enough, where it's crippling, where it's hard to get out of
Yeah.
bed, or where you have severe anxiety, depression, all that. Yeah, then it's
Yeah.
an absolutely, because to me, the mental health is the part that keeps me back. It's not the rest of my health. I've
Yeah.
learned to live and master that. I don't love it, but at the same time, like when I have a
Mhm.
bad mental health day and my anxiety is high, I don't even want to eat.
Yes.
So
That is very relatable in the sense of I'll be relaxing one day or like my back. I also have scoliosis, so like I'll have to lay in bed for a little bit after doing some things because my back will spaz and my legs will start shaking and I can't walk. So I'll have to lay in bed and my fiance will try to make me a meal and he'll bring it in. I'm like, I'm so sorry, babe. Like I'm not hungry, and he's like concerned about me. And then throughout time of getting more comfortable with someone or in general with yourself on speaking on it, I was able to say, I am so depressed, I can't eat. And I feel like that's when it becomes a little bit impairing because it affects your whole body and your whole health.
yeah,
And on top of my heart, on top of my bones, on top of my hearing, on top of my eyes. And I feel like when you already have like a physical impairment or disability, it's hard to like on top of that have mental health issue like diagnoses that really affect you in your everyday life because on top of not being able to walk while you're sitting trying to relax, your brain spirals
oh
and you
yeah,
start thinking the worst things that possibly could come to your brain. And it's such a big like misconception and people like I feel like until you deal with it, you really don't understand.
yeah,
I personally, I don't get angry, but I get confused when people who don't go through it say they understand
right. Oh yeah,
because you don't understand. And I'm not saying that to sound rude or anything. I'm saying that because they haven't had that experience.
no, that or well, just pray about it, or just these things. And it's like, look, man, I believe in God, I pray and all that, but like for me, they always use the one, well, Jesus healed someone's blindness. And I'm like, just please don't fucking do that to
Yep.
me. Because I know why you're doing that. And it's lazy. You don't care. You don't
Mm-hmm.
understand. You're just trying to find a way to relate, and you're trying
Mm-hmm.
to just find a way to feel like you want to chalk this, you want to write a little X next to the little thing on your board that says I did something good for somebody today. Well, you didn't, because you
Exactly.
annoyed me. You annoyed me. Don't can I
Yeah.
pray for you? No, don't pray for me, because you only want to pray for me because you think I'm sick.
Yep.
You don't realize that I actually have a good life. You don't realize that I'm
Mm-hmm.
happier than most. Yeah, I struggle, but you just have a very negative outlook on life, because you think anybody who looks like me or lives like me is struggling, or has it bad. And yeah, I have it hard, but I don't want to be anyone else. I wish I had
Yeah.
better eyes. I wish I had a lot of things, but at the end of the day, I don't. So fuck it, we keep it going.
Yeah, exactly. My mom and stepfather are very, very Christian.
Mm.
And to the point where when I would cry, they wouldn't be there for me emotionally. They tell me to read my Bible and pray.
Mm-hmm.
And so for a long time, I thought it wasn't okay to cry, that it wasn't okay to speak on my emotions as well as what I'm struggling with pain wise in my body. And it was very frustrating for a long time because I felt like I couldn't talk to anyone, or like if I cried in front of someone, still to this day, if I cry in front of someone, I like go in the other room and like shut myself in it so no one sees me crying, because that's how I was raised. And usually when I'm crying, I start praying because that's how I was raised. But because of what I went through as a child and growing up, I feel like my perception on religious views and like Christianity or any sense of Jesus or God himself has been skewed because of how my family raised me.
Right.
But I'm choosing now to like view, like, okay, I was in AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, for a long time because I was an alcoholic for years. And I went to Alcoholics Anonymous and it said, you view God how you understand him. And so that's how I choose to live right now, because it's my God and my understanding.
Yep.
And I choose to pray how I want to pray. I don't have to follow the rules of my parents. And it's really helped me like with my mental health and my disabilities to like know that I can view the world how I choose to view it, and that my values are my values and no one else's.
Yeah, you and I can relate a lot on that, because I really, I mean, I think we all go through it with disabilities. We all go through the stage of, oh God, why did you do this to me? You hate me, you curse me, yada yada yada, and whatever else, right? You're like, I'm broken and these things. And I didn't really have religion beat into me, so that is the difference here. But I always like tried to struggle with the whole God thing, and then I started to realize, man, there's somebody in my corner who's trying to help me out. I just don't listen to him. And I'm like, all right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized, like, I just started developing my own relationship and started healing. And so when people come into my life and go, are you religious? And I go, no, God, no, I hate religion. And then they're like, are you, do you pray? Do you this? I'm like, yeah, I do all these things. It's just I don't talk about God or Jesus every 2 seconds. Like I can talk about that, but I can also talk about who won the sport, the game last night. I can talk about what's going on in politics. I could talk about whatever, my sex life. I don't know. I could talk about whatever the fuck I want, because I am well rounded. I'm not pigeonholed to talking about one thing. I'm not just this singular being that has just these couple thoughts about myself. Uh,
Exactly.
and I think some, they have their vision on what your relationship with God should be. It should be like theirs, and it's like, no, man, that's not how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to have your relationship, and if that's how you go, if going to church every day is
Mm-hmm.
great, cool. If that helps you, that keeps you from committing crimes and committing adultery or infidelity, whatever, like whatever the hell it takes. If that keeps you sober, go to church. I just personally, it
Yeah.
doesn't do anything for me. So
Yes.
don't tell me what to do with my life. Don't tell me what to do with
Mm-hmm.
God. And the reality
Mm-hmm.
is, I think a lot of that shit in the Bible isn't. It's just handmade. It's by humans. And a
Mhm.
lot of it is meant to just get you through the day. It's not literal stories. So
Yeah.
it's like, just get off my ass. Like, I don't care. But yeah, again, I've had people come in. They're like, man, I'm an atheist. I'm like, that's okay. I still love you. And then I'll have
Yeah.
someone come
Exactly.
in and they're like, I'm Jewish or I'm Christian. And I'm like, I love you too. It's okay.
Yeah.
Just don't force your beliefs on me. That's all let me have my relationship with God, and
Exactly.
I'll let you have yours. Why do I have to be? You don't want me created in His image. You want me created in your image, and I don't fuck that. I'm not doing that. Like, leave me alone.
No.
I don't bother anybody with my
Exactly.
stuff. I put my content out there and all that, and you could agree or disagree, but I don't tell people you have to think like this. You don't gotta like my music. You don't like the things I like. It's the same thing with God. Like, have your own relationship. Stop. I think that's one of the worst things that parents do is they force their beliefs on their kids, whether it's politics or religion or things. They make you feel like, hey, not in my
Mhm.
house. You have to be a Chicago Bears fan. You can't be a whatever fan.
Mhm.
Like, you have to go Republican, or you have to date only white guys, or whatever the hell, right? Like, they force all their shit on you, and you're like, dude, can you just let me figure it out for myself? I may not even like women, or whatever the hell. Like, let me figure out.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't want to vote, you know. So so I think that's one of the worst things parents can do is just force their nonsense onto their kids. Teach them the
Yeah.
values and how to grow up, and teach them respect and things like that. But don't force how you feel about the world onto them. Let them figure that out. Because
Exactly.
life is gonna kick them around, and they're gonna find out anyway. So you might as well just allow them to learn it from an open-minded point of view.
Yeah. I feel like that was very good. Very good point. You have a good way with words. But when
Through brain
I
fog too.
yeah, I try. But when my grandmother, my mom's mom, passed away 3 years ago, almost four. That's crazy. It was a month before my 18th birthday, a month before my high school graduation, and I was like, "Oh, the world's ending." And my mom never audibly said this at all, but
Mm-hmm.
she basically hinted at it that like I'm never gonna like have signs of my grandma again. Like I'm never gonna see her, like all this stuff. And she's like, "But she's with Jesus now." And I'm like, "That is true, yes." But I was thinking, what do you mean there's not signs? And after my grandmother passed away, she was very angry at the world for so long. Still is. But she doesn't audibly talk about it. She just takes it out on everyone around her.
Uh-huh.
And so when after like 6 months of my grandmother's passing, my grandmother was the strongest lady I've ever known. And my mom's strong too, but my grandmother, she defended me against my mom, who would be rude to me. She would stand up for me. So I say that's strong in my eyes. And so when I was out, like 6 months later, during the 6 months, I thought to myself, and I wouldn't pray, I would talk to my grandmother. While out in public, I would just talk to her. I probably looked crazy because I was talking to myself, but I was like, I'm going to talk to her. And so I would do that. And for my whole life, my grandmother loved butterflies. And I know that's the cliche thing, like a butterfly is like a symbol, but it's just crazy. Like every time I'm outside, no matter the weather, still to this day, and I'm sad and I feel like the world's against me, or I'm having suicidal ideations, or I don't know what to do. Like, it's like her angel numbers were 444. Four butterflies will fly by me. Four butterflies. Every time I'm getting like a feeling of like despair and brokenness, four butterflies will fly by me.
Hmm.
And I called my mom like a week ago, and I didn't bring it up, but I wanted to. And like telling her that like I've seen these things, because I feel like if I were to tell my mom that I've been seeing this, she would laugh and she'd be like, "There's no way," or she'd just kind of be like, "Okay," and then she'd continue her conversation. And so, how I view it with like people, even my own mother, like coming to try to like get me to think I'm crazy or think that my views are wrong, or how I see my grandma now after her death, I just kind of like, I just live. And I've had this conversation with my fiance, had this conversation with my friends. Yes, I have friends, like maybe two good friends that actually listen.
It's okay. It's all
But
you need.
yeah, basically, exactly. And I would sit there I would tell them how I was feeling, everything, and I told them if my mom doesn't want me in her life, I can't force that. I can't force someone to love me. I can't force someone's attention to me. I can't force someone to want to be there. I
Mm-hmm.
can't.
Nope.
It's energy draining. It's draining my perception on the world. And I got into the point where I told myself, and this is for anyone, if someone is draining your energy and losing your hope for humanity and in life and in general, let them, but don't let them in your life and cut holes in deep into you because you don't deserve that.
Right. Yeah.
Even if it's your mother, even if it's someone in your family, you can love them from a distance.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I've had to do. And I'm holding on to every strand of love for this woman, but it's so hard
Yeah.
because someone who's supposed to be there and raise you doesn't.
No, I hear you. I just made up with my dad some years back, and I just saw him literally 3 weeks ago for the first time in 25 years. And my dad wasn't always perfect, and and I tried to make amends with him multiple times, even though it wasn't on me. Um, and I just kept having this like recurring thought of like my dad like being asked like, "Hey, do you have any kids?" And he's like, "Yeah, kinda. I don't see my kid or whatever the hell." And I felt bad, even if it wasn't my fault. So I was like, I want to take one more shot at it because I feel like, I don't. There's been no abuse. There's no nothing like he just had anger issues and drank a little too much, and this may be fixable. And then one point, like we got him back in touch, and we were talking, and I was sitting outside, and he was just talking about all his regrets, and I was like, oh fuck, he gets it. Finally, he gets it. Okay, I think we can move forward now. And then I had him on the podcast, and of course I just saw him in person, and I genuinely told him I love him, and I didn't think I'd ever say that ever in my life, but
Yep.
but that had to be worked out.
Mhm.
But if my dad was doing what your mom was doing, I know he wouldn't be in my life because anybody who brings me down or anybody who doesn't make my life better, I'm out. Like I don't
Mhm.
care. The only
Mhm.
person I take any negativity from is my grandmother, and that's only because she was just born that way, and I love her, but we're just separated by 60 years, and she doesn't get half the shit I'm doing with TikTok and all these things. So it's just like I have to take it for what it is. But
Uh-huh.
at the same time, like she's the only one. Everyone else, like I'm not taking it because it's like if you don't love me or you don't believe in what I'm doing, then I'm out. Like I don't care if we're blood related because most of the people that I love dearly more than anything, I'm not actually blood related to them. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, you got and when it comes to the mom and dad thing specifically, that is literally all up to you. Like you have to figure out if it's worth it. And if you think that
Yeah.
if there's never going to be any change or progress made, if she's just always going to be like this, then
Mhm.
you have to make that tough decision on, you know what, I love my mom. I will always love my mom
Mhm.
because I think even with my dad, like there's always that part of you that wants to run into your mom or dad's arms and go, "Daddy, Mommy," even when you're 30. But
Yes.
because they brought you into this world, so you have their DNA. You carry 100% of their DNA, so you're like, "Fuck, man,
Yeah.
I love them." But when they don't love you the way you love them, it's just such a
Mhm.
hard feeling. And
Yeah. It is.
but don't drain yourself, man, because it's not your fault.
Mhm.
Why if they don't love you the way you love them, that's not your fault. That's their
Yeah.
loss. Like you're an awesome person. They don't deserve
Thank
you.
you. Yeah. You're an awesome person too.
Thank you. But I mean,
Yes.
but let's keep it about you. I can talk about me all day. No, no, no. I mean, just like I said, I get it though. The parent thing, man, that shit's hard. I didn't. I tried my best to try to fight the dad thing, and I eventually I got worn down, and I'm just like, nah, man, maybe this can work. But I have like an uncle who we don't talk, and we'll never talk again until he apologizes for the bullshit he said about to me. And
Yeah.
he's my grandma's son, and when we see each other, we'll sit right across the dinner table. We won't look at each other. We won't talk to each other. It's super uncomfortable. It's weird as hell. But at the end of the day, like I'm not. I don't. If he tries to talk to me at my grandma's funeral, I may spit on him. Like I don't talk to me. I don't. I'm like you're not as important as my father, my sister, anybody that I've made amends with. Like, please don't talk to me because I'll talk to him if he calls me right now and says, "Hey, uh, you know, meet me at Dunkin'." I'm like, "All right, cool, let's talk." But I'm not making that effort because I've one made an effort with so many others, and two, he's not all that important to me. And
Exactly.
I would love to make amends with him just to make my grandma happy before she's gone. But I also know if I did it and I was the one that made the effort, I would feel like I was selling my soul. Like I'd feel like I was going against everything I stand for. And
Exactly.
I love my grandma. I would do anything else for her, but I can't do that one thing for her.
Mhm.
So on the same flip side of it is like, yeah, my uncle's not as important as your mom, but I get it. Like, you're stuck in a hard place because you just wish you had some breakthrough with her. Like you wish she could just fucking understand a little bit. And you'll take whatever you can get right now. Like you'll take a genuine hug. You'll take something that makes you go, "Oh, she does." Like there's something in there that loves her, or that
Yeah.
says that she loves me. And the thing is, the sad part about all this shit is, when they always say hurt people, man. A lot of times it just comes from their fucking past and their the way they were raised, and it's just
Exactly.
passed down. And that's why you're amazing is because you said that your mom, and grandma, the two, you said she your grandma. You said is the strongest person you know, but the crazy part is I don't know them, but I would imagine that you have it way harder than both of them probably put together. And so
Yeah.
you should be the strongest person you know. And and I don't say that lightly because I know a lot of strong people, and you overcome a lot, and you're still standing, you're still smiling, you're still a good person. So you've broken all the cycles that your family passed down onto you. They burden you with this bullshit and say, here you go, have good luck with your mental health and all this shit, and lack of love and humanity and companionship and all these things. Good luck finding a relationship and people who care about you, and then you start chasing it your whole life. But I mean, you did all that, but at the same time, you still became who you are through all that shit. You broke the cycle, and that's why you're more important than anyone else in that family because you actually didn't go with what the status quo is. Your family, the women in your family just keep doing the same thing, but you didn't. And you have so many other reasons to give up. You have so many other reasons to say, fuck this. Life is too much. It's too sad. I want to end it
Yeah.
all. And you choose to stay anyway. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you got to give yourself more credit, man.
Thank you.
Because
Um,
this disability
thank
shit ain't
you.
easy. And that's just one part of your life. And
Yeah.
you have you have multiple disabilities. So, but you have so
Yeah.
much to be grateful for. And yeah, I get it, man. I know the mom thing sucks, but the good thing is, even if you have a relationship with her, man, one of the biggest goals for you is to try to be everything that your mother isn't.
Hmm.
If you ever have a kid, like be if you're grateful enough to have a kid, whether you adopt it or actually conceive one, you know, be everything that she's not. I'm sure there's some good in there, but all the bad that she passed on to you, just delete it, remove it, because that's not who you are. You're a caring person. I mean, I know it
Yeah.
from you coming in my life and just being kind and saying nice things, and you could have judged me and did anything else that every other person has done to me that
Yeah.
does negative shit, but you didn't, and so that means you broke the chain. So you're the chain breaker of the family.
Hell yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I am.
yeah, man.
Yeah. I wanted to relate on the dad thing too. I just met my dad since I was 5 years old, so that's 16 years. I just saw him for the first time since I was like 5 or 7, somewhere around there. I don't remember. And I just flew to New Hampshire with my fiance to see him and my two half sisters.
Wow.
It was pretty wild. I was walking. I was like in the car like rental area, and the car rental wasn't working out. So I called him. I was like, "This isn't working. Like, what am I gonna do?" He's like, "I'll have me and your sister, come drive and pick you up." I was like, "Okay." And so me and my fiance, his name's Nate. I'll just use his name. His name's Nate, and we were sitting there, and he walks in. I didn't really recognize him because once again, I hadn't seen him since I was a kid, and even then, I don't remember much. And he walks in, and he just looks in his eyes like bright, like huge, like he's just staring at me like he saw a ghost. I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, you look just like your mother. And I was like, oh God. And that's what the whole trip was saying. And I I came back to California from New Hampshire, and I sat in my room with my fiance Nate, and we were sitting there talking. And I was looking at old pictures of like my mom when she was my age. I'm like, holy shit balls, man. Like I am my mother's clone. It's crazy. It's scary, actually. I wouldn't say it's crazy. It's scary.
Yeah,
But I do look like her, but I'm nothing like her personality wise.
that's awesome.
And I think, like, when I was talking to my sisters, I have two older sisters. So one's 36 and one's 34, 33. And I was talking to them, and we were having conversation. And even after years of not seeing them, I am like, my personality is just like theirs. And with my bio dad, the same thing with you. Like my dad was an alcoholic. He had anger issues, and a lot of his anger issues like went into me. And so like years of like feeling abandoned and regretful and like resentful towards him and like other people in my family, I would take it out on everyone, and I would punch holes in walls. I would be angry all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And still to this day I get angry every now and then, but now I know the skills on like what not to do. Like for instance, don't punch holes in walls.
Yeah.
And so I feel like, oh, also my mom and dad have a 19-year-old together. My brother, we grew up together. His name's William. And he looks just like my dad. And I feel like when you meet the person you've resented your whole life and like you've been told doesn't love you, or I have been told like a ton of lies about, and then you meet them and sit down and talk to them, it's like you finally can let go of that feeling of anger, that feeling of resentment, that feeling of not being loved or wanted,
Yeah.
even though the whole time he wanted me and loved me. And so when I first like sat down and talked to him in person, the first thing that came out of his mouth was, "I love you, Natalie." And I was like, eh. And I wasn't ready to say it, but he didn't push me.
Yeah.
And then throughout the whole trip, like we were there a total of 4 days, so 3 full days, and then the other 2 were the half days.
Mm-hmm.
And on the last day, when at the airport, I told him I loved him, and he started crying. And I said, "I'll see you soon, Dad." And my mom, she's in her 40s. My dad's almost 70. And so he has a lot of health issues. His heart's bad, so I think that's where I got it from. But he had a triple bypass about 3 years ago, a triple heart bypass. And he wasn't supposed to be alive. And I feel like I'm grateful to have met the man I hated my whole life. And like now I can say I have love for him in my heart.
Yeah, because I mean, one, you hear all this shit about them from whoever, your mom or whoever, and then you have resentment just because he's not in your life. And unfortunately, we write people off in this world, and we don't ever give them another chance. We feel like whatever awful thing they did in their past, that defines them, and it shouldn't. Just like our disabilities or anything else, one thing shouldn't define a person. It's all their actions, all of everything that makes them up who they are. And we're all every good person has made bad choices, and every bad person has made some good choices. And it's just the truth. And so, I'm sure your dad was carrying just as much resentment and hatred towards himself for not being there. And, seeing
Yeah.
his daughter, it's like, look, does it mean he probably should have reached out more in this? Yeah, of course. But at some point, like, my mom and my dad are actually talking more now. And I didn't care if they ever did. I really didn't. I knew they hated each other. I didn't care if they ever did. All I wanted was, look, man, I'm doing this dad thing. Me and my mom have always been close. And I always said to my mom, I'm like, look, I got to do this for me. Like, this ain't
Mhm.
about you. This has nothing to do with you. Like, you can hate him. You can whatever. But please stop shitting on him in my presence. Like, I understand you don't like the guy. But at the end of the day, like, he's older. He's got heart issues, too. He's got seizures and things. And you know what? Like, this is my last chance. If it doesn't work, then guess what? I'm done. But I'm going to do it. And
Yep.
now we met, and he spent time with me and my grandma, who's my mom's mom. and my mom's texting him just saying thank you for coming to see him, and it all worked out, and it went better than I could have ever imagined. And
Yeah.
it's like, see, man, like this might not have happened if I just held on to this hatred and resentment, because I've said it on here many times, but there's a time that sticks in my head where I was in therapy however many years ago, and my therapist brought up my dad, and I just started like for the hour that I was in there, like for 35 minutes, I was just cursing his name and just saying how much of a shitty person he is. And then when it was over, it was like I was exhausted, and I was like, wait a minute, like, do I really hate him that much? Like, goddamn, where'd that come
Yeah.
from? Like, it's like I opened the closet and everything fell out about him. Like, his whole
Mhm.
giant, like, I opened his file and everything just went
Mhm.
boom all over me. And I'm like, wait, why do I hate him? He never molested me. He never physically abused me. Yeah, he had anger issues. Yeah, he could drink too much at times, and he could have done this, he could have done that. But I do have a lot of good memories. And yeah, he did fuck up, but haven't we all? And I'm like, I'm not saying that excuses what he did, but at the same time, like, I don't know, maybe he's changed. And then when I found out he actually changed, I'm like, okay, then this can go forward. But yeah, man, it's that fucking connection that you have to your parents just never goes away. Whether
Never.
even if they did do the most awful, vile things to you, they could have been abusive to you. You still have that, because it's like they're just you always have. It's like when they say you have a twin, you always sense them. It's like you have
Yeah.
this feeling for your parents. You always will, even deep, even if on the outside you constantly say, "I hope they die" or whatever. On the
Yep.
inside, there's always this small tinge, this part of you that goes, "Man, I just wish my mom and dad were here." You know,
Yes.
and it sucks because it's like you wish that you didn't feeling, so you're always chasing that. And there are some people, one, who don't get to have what you and I did with our dads, whether
Mhm.
they passed on, or you don't can't locate them, or whatever. Um,
Yep.
time ran out, whatever it is. But for the ones who have been able to do it, like, man, or you have an opportunity, you should at least attempt it. I'm not saying it's going to be successful, but try, because you never know. Everybody, everyone can change, and some don't.
Exactly.
Some don't. Some are stubborn to the core, and they're never going to change. And there are some that, man, they want to change, they just don't know how to. And just by you even showing up is probably like, damn, man, like, I have, like, it's my daughter, like, it's my baby girl. Regardless if there's a part of me that wants to be a man right now and be like, hi, how you been? And it's like, as soon as he sees you, it's like, yeah, I love you. Like, that you can't, I helped create you. And it's like, if that ain't if
Mhm.
that ain't progress, I don't know what is.
Mhm. And he talked to me while I was there. He was like, "I know your brother will never want to meet me
Yeah.
because my brother, he has the anger times 20." And I grew up with him in the house I grew up in, with him throwing stuff at the wall all the time. Him constantly running away from the house. Um,
Well, and he
he
looks
was
like
just an
him too.
angry, yeah, just like him, like spitting image.
Right.
And like I think I'm a mom's clone. No, my brother is literally like, it's like you create an actual clone. Like
Yeah.
you take a hair off my father and make him.
Right.
Like that's what my brother looks like.
Yeah.
And so when I was there, he was telling me how he knows my brother will never want to meet him, but that I should, if I'm comfortable, like tell him my dad loves him. And so I texted my brother, and I didn't. I ended up never telling him that, because still to this day he's very angry. We don't really have a relationship unless I like send a funny meme. That's about it.
Yeah.
Um, but like when it comes to like talking about how he's doing, he gets angry. He starts lashing out on me. There was this one time I sent my brother a paragraph like apologizing for growing up with me and me being a drug addict, having lash outs all the time. And I just did that for me, um,
Sure.
because I felt like he deserved an apology. And so I did that. And then he sent me a paragraph like telling me, "I don't need you in my life. I'd rather you dead." Like things like that. I'm like, all right. So I
Yeah.
gave him the space he needed. And then he ended up reaching out to me again. And this all started in April. And so now he is ignoring me once again. but he crashed his car about a couple weeks ago, I think. It was when I went to see Suicide Boys. So I think it was like 3 weeks ago. And he crashed his car, and I reached out to make sure he didn't like get hurt or anything. And he's like, I don't want to hear from you unless you have $10,000. I was like, dope. So I just gave him the space, and he still hasn't reached out to me, and I won't beg for him to reach out anymore. But
Yeah.
when he's angry, he pushes everyone who actually cares out of his life.
Yeah.
And I told my dad that. I told him when he gets angry, he doesn't want anything to do with people who actually love him.
Yeah.
And my dad kind of got like sad, and he was like, well, when will he talk to me? And I told him, I'm like, I can't promise you or make you believe he's going to talk to you, because I can assure you that he probably will not talk to you ever
Yeah.
until he's like in his 30s, and I don't know if he'll be alive by then. So all I can do is send you pictures of him, but I can't have him talk to you. And that's part of the genetic chain. Like, my brother's angry, my dad was angry, and I'm going to have to grow up with like that abandonment from my brother. And then come when he's older and grows and realizes, I'm going to have that conversation about resentment and stuff towards him.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, maybe one day it gets better, but yeah. I mean, you can see what you could have been. Just look at your brother. You just go, okay, me and him came out of the same two people, and we both look like one of them, and we share a lot of similarities and things. But look at the anger he holds in, and that's why, like, I was having this conversation with a pastor yesterday. I've never seen a pastor for anything, but we were just talking about just everything, life, and just growing and evolving and healing, and it's like he's like, yeah, man, like the where you are at in your life right now is like most people, the very small percent of people get to where you're at right now, because especially with all the trauma and everything that's been thrown at you, most people don't get to grow and still have love for the world and still want to better themselves and better everyone else and so on and so on. And it's like same thing for you. It's like, yeah, man, like you shouldn't be who you are. Like, you and I are having this very open, deep, dark, emotional conversation that most, like, your brother couldn't have this conversation,
No.
without being angry or whatever, right? But you and I can have it without crying. We can have it without yelling at each other. We can have it without being upset. And maybe deep down there's a part of us that's sad or just have whatever it is. But we can keep, and again, if crying or whatever is fine because it's a natural reaction. But at the same time, it's like you and
Yeah.
I have healed enough. We've learned and we've dealt with, and we've made mistakes. You talk about your addiction. You made a lot of mistakes, but look where you are now. And I think that's where we have to look at ourselves and realize, like, we are so hard on ourselves, and we never give ourselves enough credit for the progress that has been made. We keep going, oh, well, we keep looking at the things we still have yet to accomplish, but we never go, well, you're sober how many years? You're married, you have your own family, and you're overcoming your challenges with your health, and you're reaching out to your dad, and you're doing all these things. And it's like, I mean, I'm seeing progress, and I've fucking only known you for like a month or two, whatever. And this is our second real conversation we've had. So if I can see it, then it's like you have to see it because it's
Yeah.
right there. And like I said, you have your brother to compare yourself to. Not that you should ever compare yourself to anyone, but you can look at your brother who's in the same boat as you and look how much everything that's happened to him ruined his life, and he doesn't even have it anywhere near as hard as you. He had the same
Yeah.
upbringing, but he didn't go through the challenges that you continue to go through, and yet he's full of anger and rage, and all that's going to do is ruin his life, is going to waste his life, and it's going to end his life. He's going to end his
Yeah,
life
it is.
sad and lonely and in a dark place. And hopefully, you hope that he gets some help and he figures it out, but a lot don't, man. I mean, look, you're an addict, and how long you been sober?
I've been sober from the heavy stuff I was doing for 2 years.
Look at that. See? You're sober 2 years, and you should be super proud of that, because you know what your rock bottom looked like. You know how dark life got.
Uh-huh.
You
Yes, I did.
you know what that's like, and yet you're still here. So it's like you say that to anyone, your brother, any person listening who's struggling right now. It's like, what's your excuse? Because you did all that, and you're still here. Like, and you still struggle, right? Once an addict,
Yeah,
always an addict. And I'm sorry, what?
I said, yeah, I'm struggling today.
Yeah, you struggle today.
Every
Amen to that. Shit, I woke up with anxiety this morning. Like,
yeah.
it sucks, and I'm starting to question my whole thing, and all of a sudden my TikTok's blowing up, and everything's starting to go well for me, and I gotta go fund me, and people are donating, and all this shit, and I'm just like, I'm still waking up like, oh god, what if it all doesn't work out? And it's like, all right, TJ, shut the fuck up. Enough of your shit. But at the end of the day, like, we still struggle, and I don't think there's ever gonna be a day we don't. Like, we'll have days we won't struggle, I should say, but I don't think there's ever gonna be a time where we just go 5 years without struggling. Well, because one, we have health issues, but I mean
Yeah.
just the mental part of it. I think from all the trauma and everything that we've endured, I don't think that's in the cards for us. I think we could have more good days than bad, but I don't think we're ever going to be removed from our past, because our past, they don't define us, but they are a part of us.
Exactly. Exactly.
And you and I we've been through a lot of shit, and we just, it is what it is. So be it. We have to move on. We can't feel sorry for ourselves. We can't. I mean, I'm sure you've done that. I know I have. I've done it enough. Just sitting around going,
Yeah.
oh, poor fella. But it's like,
Yeah.
what's that gonna get me? That ain't gonna get me a good woman in my life. That ain't gonna get me my dream house and job and all these things. No, no one cares. The reason why I'm starting to take off on social media is because I'm just being myself, and
And you never gave up.
yeah, and I'm showing the real. I'm not showing you good days only. I'm showing you all days, every day. If I wake up, my eyes look terrible, bloodshot, and I got sleepies in my eyes, so be it. Because this is what I look like in the morning. I ain't got nothing to hide. What, if some girl doesn't find me attractive in the morning? Well, guess what? You ain't sleeping next to me. So it's like, whatever, man. I'm too in my own world now that I just don't care. If you don't love me, you don't like me now, well, don't start liking me when I really start to blow up. Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
good. I don't need that. I mean, you want somebody who loved you at the bottom when you
Yep.
when you were dirty and didn't have anything to offer the world, and all of a sudden you took off, and it's like, oh, you know what? Now you're looking cute. Yeah, why? Because I got Versace shades on? No, no, fuck that. Like me now.
My fiance has loved me at my bottom, and I have loved him at his bottom. And I literally was in mental health treatment. I was struggling so much. I was angry. I was okay. I don't think looks matter and things. I think they're a plus. But when we started dating, I was not looking good. That's for sure. I was binge eating. My face was broken out and so much acne. I was so insecure about myself, but he still loved me and he would still call me beautiful. And then fast forward now, almost a year later, I look better. I'm healthier because my mental health starting to get better than it was, and he still loves me the same. And I didn't have a place to go. I didn't have money. I didn't know where to go. I would have had to gone to a sober living with strangers, and he and his family welcomed me into their home.
Awesome. Well, he probably saw the beautiful girl in there. Like,
Yeah,
you tend to see things in others that, especially the kinder and the healers in the world, like the kinder people, we tend to see things that others can't see. And it's like, yeah, you may look rough, but I can tell you're beautiful. You're just, emaciated, or whatever. You're dehydrated, or all these different things. Like, you're not attractive. I still see you, and you're still kind. And I think for me, mine was never addiction based, but like, when I get on live some days and my mental health isn't good, I don't want to be on there, but I'm doing it to fight my demons and saying, like, I'm still going to help somebody today. I'm still going
yeah,
to show up for them because they need it and I need it. And when some can see me and they say, man, thank you for showing up today, we can still see that you're trying to help. You're still trying to care. Someone says it's my birthday, you'll say happy birthday to them, even if it's like, hey, happy birthday. Like, you're still trying. You're still fighting in there. And they can
yeah,
see that I'm still a kind person even when I'm not feeling great. And so I think
Yeah.
I think it just comes down to that, where there's that you're in there, you can't see it. All you can see is, ugh, what is that in the mirror? But
Uh,
he sees it. Like he sees, like, yeah, I can see the addict. I see all the I can see the mess that you are right now too. But I can also see what you really are. I can see the beauty in you. And
yeah.
it's just we got to get you out of this. We got to get you cleaned up and sober. And I think once you come out of that, like I said, there's a lot of times, like even in the darkest places, you'll find some very beautiful things. And you tend to see, you can still see someone's essence and who they are, even at really low points. If you look hard enough, if you're not a judgmental person, you can really see something in a person and go, okay, like I can tell if you clean this up, you're fucking sexy. But right now, you're just like, whoa, I don't know what this is. But I can tell, like, you're awesome. And again, personality, everything. There's something that's still bled through your mess. And
Hmm.
that's just who you are. Your essence, your aura is still in there, even when you're all messed up. Um,
Somewhere in there.
somewhere in there, you just got to shake it out a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's what makes you you over anyone else, is that even when you're a mess, even when you're in a dark place, those who will love you will still see that small part of you that's holding on, that little girl as a kid who just wanted whatever, her mom to love her or whatever the fuck it is, that just whatever shows and cartoons you liked, and like that little inner child is still there and it shines sometimes. And it's like if you just like throw a I don't know, a coin or something into like a well, and you can see like just a little splash of water just pop up. Like, oh, okay, all right, I think there's water in there. I can't
Yeah.
really see all the way down there, but I saw something, right? Or you shine your flashlight and you see a coin or something. You're like, oh, I think there's a quarter in there. There's
Yeah.
something in there. It's right now. It's not as bright as it should be, but
Yeah.
you're still there. And then now look where you are, and yeah, I mean, you have bad days, but your bad days aren't because you caused them. You know,
No.
you can't blame yourself for your disabilities and your health issues. That's not your fault.
I spent a long time blaming myself. I was like, what the heck?
Well, I'm sure we all do that. I think my mom blamed herself too, but yeah, we all. I mean, we all want to go back. I wish I can go back and not take that amoxicillin and so on and things, but we can't. We can't, or we can't just say, hey, I wish I wasn't born under these people. Like, you can't. It's just not what it was. And your story is your story. You're connected to all these people, and but the thing is, it's just because someone's your mom or your dad, or yeah, these people were appointed to you, but they don't have to stay. Like, you know,
Mhm.
it, you make your own way in this world, and you have to kind of dictate who you are. You can't let anyone tell you like, hey, are you a city girl or a country girl? Are you a Republican, Democrat? You could just say, what? Why do I have to be any of these things? Why can't I just be Natalie? Why
Yeah,
can't I,
why can't you? Exactly.
why do I have to like Pepsi or Coke? Why can't I just like RC Cola? Like, why do I have to like anything that anyone else likes? Why can't I just like life? Why can't I, I want a pet raccoon just because they're adorable. I don't need a cat or a dog. Just like whatever the fuck you like. You still like
Yeah,
watching anime and you're 50? Fuck it. You like, I'm probably going to be wearing colorful sneakers in an old age home. So,
there you go. You'll be a
whatever.
spy man there.
Hell yeah, I'm going to get some old wrinkly tail. It's going to be great. No, but I mean, just be yourself. And I think
Mhm.
we, especially with the disability thing, we tend to think that like, oh man, that makes us different. That's a bad thing, but it's not. It's not. I mean, it's not all good either. I'm not gonna lie, but it's not all bad either, man. There's some good that comes with it, and we are some of the strongest people that exist. And it's just we have to realize what makes us shine. And I said this in a video recently. Like, I know that if I, wore glasses or something, like I know my eyes draw people in. I know some people wouldn't even click on me if I just wore sunglasses. There's some of it's a freak show, some of it is curiosity, some of it is this and that, whatever, man. But it's drawing people in and it's drawing my numbers up, and I'm getting paid. So, and
Exactly.
I've met a lot of great friends from it. And there's a lot of people who come in and see my eyes and they go, "Fuck, man, I'm deaf, or I got eye issues, or I'm got autism, or whatever," and they feel comfortable because they're like, "Hey, this guy's
Hmm.
not wearing a mask. This guy's not wearing glasses, so he's I can be comfortable in the world, and
Yep.
so that's one of my purposes is just hopefully making the world a little safer for us because it's crazy out
Yeah.
here. It's crazy out
Yeah.
here.
It is.
It's
Like
really
even with my disabilities, everything, walking down the street, men just whistling. Scary.
yeah. Yeah, and you get all these weird compliments, like backhanded compliments and things. And what did I got
Mhm.
one earlier today? What was it? Oh my God, you would look great as a Halloween costume or some shit. I'm just like, really?
What the fuck?
It's like, oh, you would be a great zombie or whatever the fuck he said. I was just like, sir, go away. Like, I don't have any time to entertain. What, man? I'm just being complimentary. Were you? Were you?
No, you know what you're doing. They
It's,
know what they're doing. That's the thing. They literally know what they're doing.
well, I said this. I've said this so many times recently, but it's like, okay, like, you know how many times I get this out in the wild? Never. Maybe once, twice. There's people that will look and maybe make a comment, whatever, but I never get anybody come up to me going, "What happened?" Never. So why is it okay on the internet? Oh,
Because they're
because
hiding behind the screen.
yeah, because you can hide behind your
They're
screen.
behind the screen because they can't say it to you in person.
I know, but see, the ones that make me, I don't care about the racist ones and because they just say they're just trolling everybody. They're just saying weird shit. I don't care about a lot of the trolls. The ones that make me mad are the ones that are actually think they're doing the right thing by going, not saying hi to me, acknowledging me. They just go, "What happened?" And then I say, "I'm not answering that." And what? It's just a question. If you're on the internet, you're gonna be asked this. You have to expect it. No, 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 no. Just because that is the thing that we accept doesn't mean I need to accept it. It's
Yeah.
just because we say that's the thing doesn't mean it needs to be the thing. We've accepted that for too fucking long, but it's not
Hmm.
it shouldn't be the thing. We shouldn't mistreat each other. We shouldn't you know judge and point something out about somebody. The most obvious thing, like, again, you're talking to somebody with confidence, but if you would have talked to me a couple years ago, I might have never gone live again. So
Yeah.
so I'm here for those who feel like they can't go live and to talk to you idiots because you think that this is like that's where it becomes problematic where it's like you actually think that this isn't a good approach. And it's like, how many people are you making sad right now? How many people would you made cry, even if you didn't intend to?
Hmm.
Somebody came in and said something. It's like, what's wrong with you? And I went, what's wrong with the way you were raised? And he went, well, I have a good mom and dad. They raised me great. I said, well, apparently not, because you think it's okay to ask me what happened and what's wrong with me. Because it's like, and so it's just we have to. God, we just have to be better as people. We are really a sad race.
We
We're,
are.
we have to do better. And the thing is, I feel
Eh,
like, go ahead.
Sorry, and I feel like when I say something nice to a stranger in public, they're so taken back.
Yeah.
They like stare at me like I'm crazy. Like they once this lady asked me, "Do you want my purse?" Like, why did you say that? I said because I think you're beautiful.
Yeah. Everybody thinks you're a salesman or some shit, or you're trying to steal something. It's like, no, man. I just wanted to say you know, you're friendly or you're cool. I like your shirt, whatever the fuck.
Hmm.
Like, why do I need something from you? And you don't got to get
Hmm.
something in return just to be kind. You really don't. So just be nice. It's the most basic thing. I know it's the easiest saying to say is kindness is free, but it is 100% free, guys. All you gotta do is just be nice, and it's so like you can be so important out here. Just whatever career path you have. I don't care if you're just some person working at a counter at a convenience store or something. Like, if you're friendly, good morning, hi, oh, have a nice day. Yeah, just little shit like that could mean something.
Yep.
Right? You don't have to be a teacher or a doctor, police officer. You don't have to be any of those things. You could be just anybody who's out in public and has a job, and you interact with them, and you serving me pizza. And if you're just like, you come in and you have good energy, it's like, man, I remember that woman from so and so pizza shop. Like, that made my
Yeah.
day to know that there's friendly people in the world, and they're not just like, hi, how may I help you? Like, they hate their job. Like,
Yeah.
you can quit, right? Like, you know, you're not like enslaved to this place. You can leave at any time. Like, why are you here?
Yeah.
But yeah, and then the worst part is when they actually have really important jobs, you know, whether it's, bless you, whether they have, you know, they're, you know, a nurse or whatever, a bus driver or whatever. Like, when they have important jobs, you're like,
Mhm.
and you're a dick? Like, why? Like, oh, you may not get paid what you want, what you think you're worth, but you signed up for this and you knew what you're going to get paid. So why be one of the bad ones, man? You
Yep.
know, we need more good people in all our communities, man. We need to stop littering and throwing shit on the ground. Clean that shit up. But they'll be the first ones that'll say, well, who's dirt? Why won't they clean up our neighborhoods? I don't know. Because you keep throwing Dorito bags all on the fucking ground. Like, how about stop? Like,
Just stop.
just stop. You're part of the problem. And I think one of the biggest problems that we have is the ones who don't, like the ones who don't feel like they're complicit because they don't participate in the nonsense. They feel like, oh, I'm not at fault, or I don't, you know, whatever. They'll just say, man, I want someone to clean this up, or I want to vote for someone better, or I want to do this. But it's like, okay, that sounds good in theory, but what are you going to do to make the change? Because if you just stay in your house and complain about it, it ain't going to get done. So if you want to see the change, you got to be the change. So do something about it.
Exactly.
Stop saying that you want this, you would like this. Go do it. Do
Yep.
something. You know, you want to see
Yep.
people be kind? Go out in the world and just be fucking kind. Hold the door for anyone who's elderly or disabled or a kid or a woman. You know, stop being in a rush. Stop.
Yeah.
Just be kind. I don't care if everybody in the room is shitty. Be nice. Don't become part of the problem. And when you stay silent, you're part of the problem. Not as bad, you know, but you're part of the problem.
Yes,
So
they are.
yeah,
And I agree with like people who are saying they want change, then do it. Take a step, get up, walk, and do it.
yeah,
You nothing's gonna change unless you change it.
yeah,
You can't just sit there and wait everyone to cater for you and do it for you when you're able to.
yeah. Because when you wait on others, you're gonna be disappointed. You're gonna be sadly disappointed because you're not gonna get anywhere near what you want. Right? It's like when people vote for somebody, even if the person they voted for gives them something, they're not gonna get. They're gonna get like one or two things, and they're like, oh, that he did that for me. That's great. But it's like they're not gonna do
Yep.
everything they promised. You know, so
Yep.
like stop waiting on others to fix shit for you. Stop waiting on others to do it. Yeah, I get it. If you don't have any carpentry skills, you know, you can't, you know, fix your house or whatever. Okay, fine, that's different. But if you just sit around and wait for somebody to call you, that ain't gonna happen either. So go out and
Mhm.
call somebody to come fix this.
Mhm.
If you can't do it, find someone who will. Don't just sit around and just theoretically just assume that everybody's just, you know, one day this world's gonna be a better place. Yeah? You're 56. When's that going to happen? Because
You know.
even if you have another 50 years in you, that shit ain't going to happen in the next 50 years. Not with the way we're going. So why don't you kind of just start the change yourself? Because you could actually be the reason why you could start a chain. You know, I talk about like you ever been in like a Dunkin' Donuts and you go to pay and they say, hey, the person in front of you paid for you, and
Yeah.
and then you pay for the person behind you. You just start this chain. And I'm like,
Mhm.
you could do that. Don't be that one person that just stops, that doesn't pay for the person behind them. Just keep
Mhm.
keep that going. You could be that person that starts that chain where you're in a grocery store, you're walking around, and you're helping some old lady who couldn't reach the top shelf, and somebody else goes, you know what, I could do that too, and then maybe they start it, and then you little by little, man, just something. It's
Exactly.
and you don't need credit for it. You don't need anybody. Like if you hold a door for somebody and they don't say thank you, that's on them. I know it
Exactly.
sucks, but that's on them. You did the right thing. That's all that matters. If you can sleep with you at the end of the night, then damn it, that's good. That's a good thing.
Mhm.
Um,
Exactly.
yeah. But is there anything else you would like to talk about before we wrap this episode up?
I don't think so. No, I think I got everything I needed to say.
All right, That's great. I actually had a woman on who said she got out everything she wanted to say. Look at that. That's a win. It's a win in my book. Well, I just wanted to say that I genuinely love you and I'm proud of you. And
I love you too. Thank you. I'm
I
proud of you too.
thank you. I'm happy to call you a friend. Um, and I really am happy that you came on, got to tell your story.
Yeah.
And thank you for everything.
Thank you. I'll get us BFF necklaces.
I'll do it. Yeah, we'll get we can get tattoos or something. Let's get face tats. Um, but yeah, no, seriously, I do appreciate you and thank you for. Oh, would you wanna? I don't. Did you have anything you want to promote? Social media or anything?
Um, no, I
Okay.
don't think so. I mean, I sing and I have a music account on Instagram, but that's about it. I don't really post on it, but that's it.
Whatever. What is
It's
it?
it's Natalie Turley Music. My first name Nathalie. My last name Turley Turley, and then music. No spaces, no capitals.
Yeah. I think when I first saw your name, I wanted to call you just because my eyes play tricks on me. I think I wanted to call you Natalie Turtley, but there was no T.
Thirdly,
Turtley,
oh yes,
like turtle.
yes.
And I
Turtle. Okay, that's better than what people call me. They call me like turd or like turkey.
oh no, yeah, I like animals. So I just when I first read it, I was like, oh, Natalie Turtley, I like it. But then I was like, oh, it's just no T, but it's okay. Um, but yes, thank you again for coming on, sweetheart. We'll talk
Yes,
more
thank
often.
you. Yeah,
And I don't, like I said, if you ever need a friend, I know you have your friends, whatever. But you ever need me, I'm around.
thank you.
Alrighty, you take care of yourself, and we'll talk soon.
Okay, audio.
Adios, good boy. All right, guys. Sorry, I think I rambled again on another episode. I rambled so much, but she's fantastic. I really enjoy her and love her dearly. So, I hope you liked it, guys. Yeah, things have been kind of booming for social media and things with me. I'll have to do an episode where I kind of give you guys the update on what's going on. But yeah, man, everything's been going pretty good. Frustration with some things. My insurance, I'm going to meet the doctor for my surgery, and if she can possibly do a surgery. And problem is they won't take my insurance, so it's a whole thing. I'm going to have a GoFundMe, so find me on TikTok at My Blurred Opinion if you want to support. But anyway, there's a lot of challenges, but we keep getting back up, and we're here to rise. And we never give up. We never admit defeat. So we will get through it one way or another. But I will give you guys a whole update episode where I just kind of rant for 45 minutes. But stay tuned for that. But anyway, I love y'all, man. Appreciate you for just sticking with me. And yeah, man, just have a beautiful week. I will see you next week. And, I hope good health and good things are to come in your life. And like we were talking about on here, man, be the change that you want to see. Go out and be kind to somebody. Go out and be kind, not to somebody, to the world. Just be nice. Be friendly. And you can make so much of a difference. You don't have to spend a dime. Just be kind. Oh, that kind of rhymed. You don't have to spend a dime. Just be kind. Oh, shit. I'm hitting buttons. I didn't mean to hit any of that. Blind people problems. All right, guys, before I hit anything else and mess up entirely, I am out of here. I am TJ, and my co-host, Mr. Buletto, is laying here snuggled, knocked out. So I'm not going to bother him right now. But he's here. Oh, his tail wiggled. But he loves you too. And I'll see you next week, guys. Thanks. Love y'all.